Yes, we are back. Time now for the MMA After Hour. And by the way, say hello to my 3 new friends on the desk. Over here we have Fedor with his infamous sweater. We've got Hoist Gracie wearing the gi, black belt, as you know. And the newest member of the squad, we've got Randy the Natural Couture. So we've got America, we've got Mother Russia, and Brazil. Of course, we've got the Canadian flag here. We've got a nice little United Nations things going on. And of course, this is all courtesy of our friends at Bellator. They've hooked us up with these bobbleheads. They are giving the Couture one out November 3rd at Penn State. And this one has been met with mixed reviews, I think. A lot of people unhappy with the fact that they're going with Couture, that maybe they should be doing a Rory McDonald one, perhaps with a turtleneck, perhaps with a suit. Do you think that they should be pushing their own guys like a Michael Chandler, a Rory McDonald, a Douglas Lima, one of those guys? What do you think? A King Mo, a Ryan Bader, or is it fun to do the legends?
I feel like you got to stick to the legends.
Even though, like here, Randy Couture is wearing Bellator gloves and shorts. He's never fought for Bellator. He will never fight for Bellator.
Yeah, but it's like these guys are Mount Rushmore-esque faces. These are forever.
So you're okay
These are
with that?
Eternal. Whereas, a guy who's like a current fighter, who knows where that goes, These are safe. These are safer options. And also, you pay homage to those that have come previously. I think it's a little too new to do the bobblehead.
Who would you do next?
Kimbo couldn't be bad.
So, I think Kimbo's the best one because he has like the coolest look and everything. But do you think that that's inappropriate because he passed last year?
It's respect. It's tribute.
All right. So I would go with Kimbo.
I mean, maybe you wait. I don't know, but in my opinion, I think it's respect. I don't think they're not making these bobbleheads to laugh at them.
No, I know.
It's
Yeah.
It's a tribute.
By the way, speaking of Twitter, which we're on right now, MMAFighting.twitter.com. Doyle Chandler.
What's up with your voice?
My voice is just.
Are we done? Are we almost out here?
I mean, it's been a roller coaster of emotions, and the voice hasn't helped. But Doyle Chandler writes on Twitter, that guy Edge who pointed out the 11 KFC followers is my friend and probably noticed the 11 followers while pooping.
Yeah, I mean, you do have to question.
Do you think someone just found out on their own?
Well, you have to question how somebody knows who KFC follows. I've never once in my life been inclined to find out who KFC follows.
Yeah.
You have to wonder how somebody stumbled upon that.
Right.
So Edge, let us know if you've got a story.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear. Okay. Questions. We'll start this the way we start this every week.
Yes.
With Ariel Helwani's questions. I mean, you're getting liberal with this. I mean, it's like almost like 2 questions every week. Next, we're going to be having 5 questions. You give him a little rope.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of questions.
First question of this week. Who do you want to see Mike Perry fight next?
Yes.
The options were Darren Till.
Notice I didn't say who do you want to see Darren Till fight next.
Right. And Darren. Yeah. I mean, you could have done this.
No, because Darren.
He's got more.
Well, Darren's not booked. Perry's the one who's booked.
Yeah.
76% in favor of Darren Till, 24% in favor of Santiago Ponzinibbio. Now, I'm not one to take away an opportunity, but like that is just too much magic between those two. It's kind of like MVP and Paul Daly. Like you can't let these things linger. You don't know what's going to happen.
I agree.
By the way, what do you make of that whole MVP thing with the purse? He's saying, I'm not going to fight him unless my purse is up versus his purse.
Coker said he'll do it.
I know. Were you surprised?
No, that's awesome.
What a great stipulation.
What a great gimmick.
Yeah, it is a great gimmick.
Do it.
So yeah, so what do you think about this poll? Who would you pick?
You have to do Till and Perry.
But
apologies.
You do it in Winnipeg?
Yeah.
Like this fight should be in Liverpool. That would be an insane. Like Darren Till's next fight needs to be in Liverpool. Having Darren Till fight
the baddie on the bottom somewhere.
Gosh, having Darren Till fight in Winnipeg against Mike Perry is the utter definition of promotional malpractice, is it not?
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's a tough call.
No, it's not a tough call. Do that fight.
Okay. In Winnipeg?
No.
Take away Perry and Ponzinibbio from Winnipeg? It's not fair to the Manitobans.
For the love of the game. For the love of the game. Got to do it.
Maybe there's another fight that they could put in there. So
yeah, maybe you give them a make good.
Okay.
But you got to do it for the love of the game. Okay, question number 2.
Yes.
Which UFC 217 title fight are you looking most forward to?
Yeah, so it's Bisping, GSP, Garbrandt, Dillashaw, Jacek, Namajunas. Those were the options. And the reason I asked this question is because I was starting to feel like people, like I said before, like weren't recognizing how big of a deal this was. And lo and behold, 62% in favor of Garbrandt, Dillashaw, 27% in favor of Bisping, GSP, and 11% said Helwani, Jacek, and Rose Namajunas. Are you surprised?
No.
You're not.
The bad blood, it's there.
Okay.
Are you?
Man, GSP.
Yeah, but it's the matchup. It's not, you didn't put, are you excited for the return of GSP?
I still feel like
excited
they would have
for-
picked this fight. I mean, the bad blood. And it's funny, right? Isn't it funny how everyone's always like, oh, you love the drama and you love the crap talking and this and that. And look, they're all picking this fight. Well, it's a great fight on paper, but
Great fight.
part of the reason why I think we're so emotionally invested in this fight is because it's teammate versus teammate. And we've been talking about it for the last few months, if not year.
Yep.
But this is GSP. GSP versus this cup excites me. I mean, that's a big deal. It's freaking GSP.
Bisping is versus
Bisping
anybody
too.
is a big deal.
Bisping
too.
as champion. I mean, there's a
Yeah.
Anyway, you don't. The beauty is you don't have to pick. I was just curious where everyone's interest.
I am most excited for that fight though.
Which one?
Garbrandt and Dillashaw.
Are you going? By the way,
They're in their prime. Likely, very likely.
are they hooking you up
I'll very likely be there.
with a guest?
No,
By the way, you can't go to that.
why not?
Your wife's going to give birth any day, any second now. You can't
not,
leave.
Not exactly. Later that month though.
You got to be home. She's
This
due.
is from you of all people.
You got to be home. What are you talking about? When my wife is due, I take like a 2-month break. The only time I leave her site is when I come to do this show.
But you just said to come do this show,
Well, yeah.
so you're not there.
Well, she's not due to give birth.
Yeah, neither's mine.
Oh, okay.
Not yet.
Is this a surprise all of a sudden? Is this a secret?
No,
You
what?
showed us the sonogram on the show.
No, what I'm saying is she's due in late November.
Yeah.
I can't not leave her side
By the
for
way,
a month.
Have you ever heard of early deliveries?
Look, if I need to leave, if you're asking me if I will leave, first of all, I'd be closer to where I need to be hospital-wise if I was at the event than if I was home. But if you're asking me if I would leave UFC 217 for the birth of my child, the answer is unequivocally yes. Confirmed here.
I was not.
I would jet.
By the way, I was not asking that.
I would jet out the door.
I was just saying, do you feel comfortable going out on the town watching MMA?
Going out on
When you, by the way, my wife was 7 months pregnant.
Yep.
2 months away from giving birth.
Yeah.
And I wanted to go see the Knicks and the Lakers, Jeremy Lin against Kobe Bryant. Remember
Insanity?
that? Remember that Friday night game on ESPN?
I don't recall it.
What are you talking about? That was like the
this
greatest
is
one.
Game winner, right? Game winner?
No.
By Jeremy Lin?
No, that was
he
Toronto.
Dropped like 40
He
or
dropped
something.
like 38. That was the one
Yeah.
where Kobe was like, who? I've never heard of this guy. And it was a Friday night on ESPN and he just completely
man.
went insane.
Linsanity was a
Linsane.
moment.
Yes, and I could have gone and I chose not to go to be home with my wife. And that was 2+ months away. So I'm just saying.
Listen,
Not to compare.
my wife watches the show. You are really ruining my life. Really
That's her
ruining my
first
life
problem.
here.
That's her first mistake. Don't watch the show. My wife certainly doesn't. She could not care less. She has no idea where I am.
My
She
family,
thinks
my
I'm
whole
at the grocery
family's
store
in.
or something.
My wife, my mom, my dad.
Everyone.
You know this.
They're hardcore fans.
They're hardcore fans. Okay, from Liam Joyce. Should the UFC alter their welterweight matchups and make Kamaru Usman versus Santiago Ponzinibbio and Perry versus
Yes.
Darren Till, and then throw in
Oh,
Cerrone versus Emil Mack?
I'm not ready to talk about Cerrone right now.
But Usman stepping in for the fight with Ponzinibbio, and then you get
Interesting.
Perry versus Till. Do you like this?
I kind of like that idea.
Yeah, you give him a game opponent, somebody who's also a name at the moment and can advance. And it feels
I
like
dig it.
as long as it's obviously what we're not saying, but we should. It's pretty explicit. This whatever happens here is either going to be fair or unfair to Ponzinibbio. He's kind of the third party in this, who's either going to get the fight that he signed up for or potentially not. And that's unfortunate. But there's too much heat here.
Yeah. It's just so great. I'm a real welterweight.
If promoted properly, from Cody Sperling. Do you see Darren Till reaching the heights of possibly a Conor McGregor or a Ronda Rousey? I think obviously too early to tell, but do you see the makings of a star here?
I do. I really do. I really do. He's entertaining. He's fun. He finishes. He's got like a nation behind him. All these things help.
Yes, I agree. He's doing it right.
Remember that clip of Paddy last time he fought in Liverpool, how insane that was?
Yeah.
I feel like this would be 10 times bigger just because it's UFC and all that.
I wouldn't have said that before. It's crazy how quickly Darren Till is now becoming that guy, right? Like Paddy would have been the one I would have pinned for, the maximum exposure there. Now Darren Till is quickly growing. Who is a more exciting prospect, Mickey Gall or Darren Till? How about right now? Who's got more cachet?
Till is further.
It's got to be Till, right?
Yeah, he's further along. I mean, he beats Cerrone.
I think Gall lost some momentum there, but I think he could get right back up there if he picks up a win over Brown and then something in the top 15-10 range.
I'll say this. I kind of just forgot that Mickey Gall was coming back next week. It's next week.
Yeah.
I'm
Big
excited.
fight, Randy Brown.
Yeah. Mickey Gall. He invented the call out. Mickey Gall invented the call out. I don't know if you heard.
I heard it.
But he claims to have invented the call out in MMA. It never happened before him.
Listen,
Thank you for the cup, Mickey.
Got to give him the due.
Yeah.
Do you think the fans, this is in relation to Conor McGregor letting some language slip in a moment with Artem Lobov after the fight. Do you think that the fans defending McGregor's use of a slur and the UFC silence, unlike with Verdum and Cowboy Cerrone previously, is a bad look?
What was this? Oh, was that the one with Daniel Cormier, right?
There was something.
Yeah, I think it was the one. Oh, yes, he talked about Anderson Silva when he was on the stage with CM Punk, and it looked like he was a little inebriated. I remember that. That was after UFC 200. I don't remember how many days after the Verdum thing. Like, I'm not ready to say that, it's been less than 2 days, so I'm not ready to say that they're completely dropping this. So, okay, for those that missed it, Conor McGregor was at the fight on Saturday in Poland, and he was there for Artem. And then there was a clip shot backstage by either a UFC or BT Sport. Someone shot it of them going into the medicals, and it's Conor sort of consoling Artem. And in this clip, it sounds like, at least a couple of times, he utters a homophobic slur, right? The F word.
Yep.
And I think someone tweeted it. I think one of those accounts tweeted it. People picked up on it, and then it was removed, and it was passed around, and it has been written about. And the responses that I've heard or read, I should say, some people were like, well, you're clickbaiting, which again is not the definition of clickbaiting. Clickbaiting is when you say, like, you won't believe what Kim Kardashian did tonight or what she wore to the gala. That's clickbaiting. This is not really clickbaiting.
Came up with that rather fast, but
that's kind of my go-to one.
Mm-hmm.
Other people were like, this isn't news. And then other people were like, well, he said this in the, he didn't think that he was being recorded. He didn't know that he was being filmed at the time. It wasn't like he was at a press conference and said it's a little different, so cut him some slack. Oh man, this is the heavy one. I'm kind of reminded of the Kobe Bryant situation. Remember the Kobe Bryant situation when a camera caught him mouthing that word to a referee?
I do, yeah.
He was fined for that. He was punished for that. And so I believe that first of all, I believe you shouldn't use that word, period.
Right.
Like if I said that to you outside as we're walking, like, oh man, like that's just not a thing. And this does not fall into, like, there's just certain words that I feel like should be deleted from our vocabularies. Like I hate when people use the word retarded. Hate that word. I get it enrages me when I hear that word. I hate when fighters say it on the show, and it has been said before. And of course that's not like a slur necessarily, but it's insensitive. It should not be used as an insult, right? Same goes for this word. And so, yeah, it's disappointing to hear it. You don't want to hear, especially Conor, as our own Dave Doyle pointed out, this was a guy who openly advocated for gay marriage in Ireland. So, it's disappointing to hear that, do I want to see him get punished or fined? I don't know what the appropriate thing to do here is. I don't think that Verdum got punished. He still got the fight. I don't believe he got fined. He said that he was going to do some outreach stuff. Maybe we'll get the same thing from Conor. I don't know what the right answer is. The only thing that comes to mind is I don't want to hear that word. It's disappointing when you hear someone in the public eye say it and they're caught on camera saying it, whether they knew. Look, Donald Sterling got in trouble, right? Owner of the LA Clippers. Did he know that his comments would be made public? No, but you're still a public person and you're caught using a bad word. There's a price to pay.
Yeah.
And so, the excuse that like he didn't know, it's just you're still in the public sphere. Like the doctor, who's treating Artem may be gay and offended by that. It's just not a word that you should use. Like there's a million insults that you could say about Andre Fili in that moment. Oh, he's a coward. He's a chicken. Whatever you want to say. Why do we have to use that word? It's just like there's enough hatred in this world. So it's disappointing. Will anything happen? I highly doubt it. It's the UFC. It's the fight game. It's not like the NBA and a team. The structure is different, so it's hard to vouch for that sort of thing. But important to say, like, let's not forget what he has done for gay rights in Ireland, and I don't think he's been caught using that word before. So you want to give people the benefit of the doubt the same way you wanted to give Verdum the benefit of the doubt. But yeah, it is a bummer to hear that word. I guess that's the thoughts that came to mind. Yeah,
it's not appropriate at any time. Private, public, doesn't matter. And hopefully, two things. One, the MMA community obviously came together to point it out and disagree with its usage, which is important to think about. Because
there's a lot of fans who say, I'm getting people right now tweeting to me like it was said in a personal conversation. That's no big deal. And that is true. It was said in a personal conversation, but it was caught on camera.
That's going to be some people, regardless. But the fact that it didn't just pass by or become a thing that nobody thought about or addressed is good. We want, I'm not trying to say it's a good situation, but what I'm saying is it can be a learning experience. People are talking about it and now addressing it and saying I guess not unequivocally, I was going to say unequivocally, saying that we shouldn't be using it, but hopefully we can get there and learn from this.
The truth is, like, as I said, a million things could be said in that moment to make Artem feel better, to insult Andre Fili. It's all good. I get what he was trying to do. He was trying to console his friend. He was being there. The loyalty that he has to Artem and Artem has to him, it's all, I love it. It's a great thing to see.
Use another word. That's it.
Yeah. It's just not the best word to use. And I know it was a personal conversation. And look, I'm not busting out the pitchforks. You see it, you're like, man, why? The same way if you would have said a bunch of other different slurs. It's like, I know he wasn't trying to put down homosexual people or anything. I just would just use another word and it would be so much better. And the excuse that like he didn't know that he was being recorded, I get that. There's a million positives about being a celebrity, about being Conor McGregor. Like, life is good. There's a few things that you have to watch out for, right? With cell phones and cameras, it's a different age. You just have to be careful. Yeah. Unfortunately, got caught, and this wasn't a cell phone. Could you imagine? Could you imagine all the things that athletes and celebrities have to worry about with cell phones, clubs? We've seen this happen a million times, right? People recording you. You get caught using a word, there's going to be some price to pay, some backlash. Got to deal with it.
Do you think Sam Alvey should have been deducted part of his show purse for missing weight on short notice fights? Like, how I think this is the way that this question could go. How heavily do you weigh the idea of missing weight against people who are stepping in on short notice versus somebody who's gotten the full fight camp and misses?
By the way, one last thing about that. It's not up to us to say what is offensive or not when the word doesn't pertain to us. You know what I mean? So, like, I can't really weigh it. Like, that is an offensive word. And I can't say it's not offensive because it doesn't bother me. Well, no, it's not meant to be about me. You know what I mean? So remember that when you're defending, slurs or these kinds of insults. Yeah. Do you think Sam Alvey should have been deducted part of his show purse for missing weight?
Do you weigh a miss on short notice as heavily as you weigh a miss when you have the full?
I kind of just wish that he didn't take the fight. This guy just beat Rashad Evans. He's coming off the best biggest, most high-profile win. Why did you take this fight? Well, like, I get coming back, but like, why'd you have to come back so soon on short notice?
Fair enough. But as it pertains to this, when a guy misses weight on short notice, are you affected the same way as when somebody misses weight generally?
I feel like if you sign up, you gotta. Yeah, that's what catch weights are for.
Yeah.
If you didn't think you'd make it, you should have vouched for a catch.
I have to admit, naturally, my disposition is to have more sympathy for that.
You certainly have a little more sympathy, but I don't think that. Like if you
the weight is the weight, there is something to that.
Yeah, I mean, if you signed up for it, then I mean, because it's not fair to your opponent. I mean, your opponent is fighting someone who's now heavier, and there has to be some. But yeah, it does suck.
What do you think about using the word "lovely" in commentary? The quote, "Lovely knee to the midsection" by John Gooden.
Okay, well, this is a beautiful word.
I agree.
I love that word. Can I just say I thoroughly enjoy Gooden and Hardy.
Yeah.
And it's not just about the accents and things like that. You know what I mean? Like, but it does.
Those don't hurt.
It does bring something a little different to the table. It's clear they're friends. It's clear they have a great rapport. It's clear they have great chemistry. It's clear that Gooden, trains and understands MMA and isn't just the setup man. Dan Hardy is a wealth of knowledge. I really enjoy his post-fight interviews. And the kinds of questions and just his demeanor. I don't know. I just enjoy them. And so, yeah, I mean, a word like that is used more in England, British people. I there's nothing really. I love the way they dress. I enjoy them. I love the European shows. I like them on Fight Pass. They kind of go by quickly. Not a lot of breaks. I enjoy them. And let me just say, like, I think John Anik is the #1 guy. Right? He is the #1 guy, in my opinion. Then it's Gooden. And then I was going to say Todd Grisham. Todd Harris used to be with WC. And they've got a slew of great analysts, but I really enjoy them together. When I hear that they're calling fights, I enjoy it. I love how people try to get me riled up now and say, like, that was violent. And, oh, you got to love the violence. You're not bothering me. Again, I know what MMA is. Could you not like get it through your skulls? What I was saying was I don't agree with using that word part of the promotion. I know it's violent. I know it's dangerous. I know it's brutal. I know it's somewhat barbaric at times. I know that it's any other word that you want to use that is a synonym for all those other words. But to say this is violent as a promotion, to me, is short-sighted and is a mistake. And that's all.
Case in point, sometimes MMA is lovely. Thank you, John Gooden.
Thank you. Yeah.
Lovely.
Don't put that label, the violent label on everything, because sometimes it's lovely. It's a great point.
Shout out to fan of the show, John Gooden.
Yes.
Okay. Mark Hunt being removed from his fight, how many other fighters will be removed by the same standard based on the history of head trauma? Essentially, are we going to see more of this? Are we going to see other fighters removed for something they say potentially in the media? We had an example with Cain Velasquez before this Mark Hunt incident, but will we see this happening more?
Well, both those situations very interesting because both of them were involved in little issues with the UFC. If you recall, Cain Velasquez with the MMAAA. A week later, he does this interview with ESPN, and then he gets checked out by the NAC, and they pull him. And then this Mark Hunt situation, which we talked about a couple of weeks ago. I think the big thing is like they have to do the interview. You know what I mean? There has to be like some kind of comments that raise a red flag. And so, like, I don't think a lot of fighters are going to get in the habit of saying, yeah, I can't wait for this fight against TJ Dillashaw. I got to tell you, I've been having a lot of concussions lately and headaches and, but life is great. I'm loving life. It's just not going to happen. I think Mark was trying to paint a picture of his entire career and tell us what he's been through and what he's overcome and how he still loves it and all that stuff. And, given the fact that he's currently involved in a lawsuit with the UFC, kind of forced their hand. Yeah. And so I think it's a very, very, very unique situation.
Sure. I mean, I think the reality is if you're saying the things that Mark Hunt is saying, even if you're not embroiled in some kind of lawsuit, I have to imagine that there's going to be particular attention paid to that. And that if we start seeing language like that, if people start talking about their difficulties with memory and things like that, there's a possibility. Why open that door if it's not a door you want to open? Yeah. But
can I say one more thing about the McGregor thing? Because I have to allow myself to gather my thoughts. If you recall, Floyd Mayweather used that word in the midst of the whole world tour. And I think that he was publicly admonished for it. I don't know if anyone was like calling for the fight to be canceled. Like it's just, and I don't know how that word is used in Ireland. Here as Americans, Canadians were reacting to it. I mean, I didn't go on like a tweet storm about it or anything like that, but you like that word I don't think was acceptable when Mayweather used it either. Like you can't just say like, oh, nothing. I don't think anyone's calling for Conor to be cut or anything like that, but it's okay to say like, yeah, it'd probably be best if you don't use that word. It's not the best word to use to describe other human beings. And that's it. Nothing more, nothing less.
Agreed. Should fighters have a right to challenge a ref ruling by using replay? And if they lose it, a point is deducted. Essentially, do you want to see other sports replay system in MMA?
It's kind of hard to say. I mean, in the flow of a fight, especially
if I get poked in the eye and we're sitting there in the 5 minutes and I go, that was, intentional, or I did or did not get poked in the eye.
I like replay being used when there's like a moment where they don't know, if the hands are down, with the illegal knees and things like that.
I think this is what they're kind of getting at.
I'm okay with that.
But instituted by the fighters rather than instituted.
Oh, I see. Or like the corner man, like how
somebody to offer it.
No, I feel like let's leave that to the.
And I think the easiest context to probably understand would be like in a case like Ponzinibbio.
Yeah.
Some way to kind of.
I don't know if they noticed that in the moment, to be honest.
They may not have. And I think this would be very difficult to execute with the fighters in the cage or the corners implementing it. I would like to see replay used to get things correct. I would like to see that myself. Excuse me. Do you believe UFC 217 is more stacked than UFC 205? You've said this. I believe I've also said this. Do you think that it is a bigger event, and how many pay-per-views?
Okay, so my colleagues don't like the pay-per-view conversation. I am fascinated by the pay-per-view conversation. I really don't know what this pay-per-view will do. John Jones did great. That was a 3-title fight show. I really don't know. I really don't know. I have no idea. If it does 400,000, I wouldn't be surprised if it does 800,000. I don't think it does 1 million. I don't. Top to bottom, I don't think that 217 is as stacked as 205.
Really?
Yes. Top to bottom. Now, top 3 title fights versus top 3 title fights, like as a collective unit, I think the 217 title fights are better. Of course, no one trumps McGregor. He's the biggest name in the sport, biggest name in the history of the sport. That will always trump all, but as a collective unit. But then the McGregor effect kind of puts it on top. So it's not a clean response for you. But look, I just want to break something down here. Okay, this is 205. This is 205. You ready? So first fight, 205, Liz Carmouche versus Caitlin Chukagian. So right now, 205 has one less fight, or 217 has one more fight. So Caitlin Chukagian, okay, so this is the extra fight. The extra fight is Ayman Zahabi versus Ricardo Ramos. Zahabi is a great young prospect. Okay, so that's one for 217. Now we go to Ovince St. Preux versus Corey Anderson versus Liz Carmouche versus Caitlin Chukagian. Okay, I'll give the nod to OSP versus Anderson, especially OSP that low in the card. He's taking the fight on short notice. But
I think that's why we might have run into issues is comparing.
Wait.
Card
Oleksiy Olenek versus Curtis Blades against Jim Miller versus Thiago Alves. Name-wise, you got to go Miller-Alves, right? On that one?
Fight-wise, you probably go the other way, though.
What do you mean? On paper.
Relevancy, I think Olenek and Blades is more relevant.
Fair, given what they've done. But name-wise, I mean, star power, I think.
Sure.
Randy Brown versus Mickey Gall versus Vicente Luque versus Bilal Muhammad. I give it to Randy Brown, Mickey Gall.
I'm almost like toss on that one. Like I think Luque and Muhammad was a great fight too. So I'm almost like in the middle somewhere there. But okay.
No, but you got to talk about it on paper, not what happened in the fight.
No, I mean.
Okay.
Look, Muhammad's a contender, and Luque that knockout was incredible.
Yeah, but don't talk about. I'm talking about on paper going into it.
The potential for that knockout was also.
What fight were you more excited for? Mickey Gall's return or Luque Muhammad? Don't be a liar. Mickey Gall. Stop it.
I won't do it because you're going to whine and call me a hipster, but
Shut up.
Equal.
Shut up. Ion Kuchilaba versus Mikhail Oleksiejczyk. Versus Tim Boach versus Sapo Natal. Boach Natal. I mean, if I can't pronounce the guy's name.
Yeah.
Okay. This is where it gets interesting, okay?
Yeah.
Walt Harris versus Mark Godbeer versus Michael Johnson versus Khabib Nurmagomedov.
Yeah, but here's the
Stop
issue
it.
with going in the order. You're going this fight versus this fight in this order.
It's fun.
But there's some
James
fights
Vick
that are
versus
better that
Joe
are lower.
Duffy.
Like OSP is OSP
Nothing
versus
beats Trump's Khabib
Corey
versus...
Sure, but is OSP Corey Anderson not going to be
this is an interesting
more
one.
comparative?
James Vick versus Joseph Duffy versus Edgar Stevens.
I like Duffy and Vick.
Okay. Johnny Hendricks versus Paulo Borrachinha.
Or a title fight. Now, see, this is where...
not title fight. Raquel Pennington versus Misha Tate.
Yeah, I like Pennington Tate.
Okay. Wonder Boy Masvidal, Romero Weidman.
Romero Weidman, for sure.
Jan Jacek Carolina, Jan Jacek Rose.
Jan Jacek Rose.
Yes. Woodley Thompson, Cody Dillashaw.
Cody Dillashaw.
And now GSP versus Bisping or Conor versus Eddie.
Not over Conor versus.
Okay, but so it's a fun debate.
I like 217 better.
That's
where I ultimately end up.
I say the top 3 fights are better. I think the fact that Khabib is
you picked more 217s. I'm pretty sure.
No, Khabib
or at least equal.
No, Khabib, Pennington, Romero. Those 3 I gave to 205.
Those 3.
Well, I'm talking about and Miller Alves.
That's half. That's like half. I'm going 217. I think it's the better card, top to bottom.
All right. I'm excited.
Who cares? Who cares about this?
I know.
205 was great. 217 is going to be great.
Okay.
Best city in the world.
Yes.
Bring in the best fight cards in the world.
Yes.
Be there. You've seen Ariel's promo. I mean, you don't need me to sell you on this.
Yeah, that one paled in comparison.
It's simple. Be there.
Yes.
Okay. Neil Magny.
Yes.
Is this the right fight for Carlos Condit?
Sure.
Back?
They asked for this fight. They wanted this fight. It's a good fight.
I like it. I like it as well. I think
people want Mike Perry. Like, let the guy ease his way back in.
I mean, I wouldn't be mad.
Nah.
I would not be mad.
Hasn't fought in a year and a half.
Who has the best nickname in the UFC?
Wow.
Let's go MMA. I think that's more appropriate.
Jesus, I don't know. I feel like Paige back there is going to say Patty the Batty.
She loves her Patty the Batty.
Korean Zombie. I mean,
great.
there's a ton of them. Axe Murderer. Anyone come to mind?
And Prodigy, great one.
Yeah. Notorious is pretty good.
Formerly Beastin 25-8.
Yeah. Wonder Boy has always been a great one, right? Wonder Boy, you like Wonder Boy?
I'm lukewarm on Wonder
Boy. Really? The Mexicutioner? Not in the UFC anymore. The Mauler is pretty good. No Love is unique.
Yeah, Cody's is good.
There's a few.
You don't have like a personal favorite one.
Natural Born Killer. Not that comes to mind right now, but I have to think about it. Does Darren Till need a nickname?
No.
Okay.
Interesting though. I mean, I was going to say Conor McGregor doesn't have a nickname, but he kind of does.
Of course he does.
But it's not used as much.
Used all the time. The notorious Conor McGregor all the time.
I feel like Conor's on the first name, no last name basis more so than anything else you'll hear. It's Conor.
But it's used.
It's Ronda.
It's definitely used.
Ronda has a nickname too, but it's Ronda. It's Conor.
Yeah, fair, but it's used. Rowdy Ronda is a great one also.
It's good. It's a good nickname, but I think they've risen above nicknames. Darren Till, if he got a nickname, hope maybe one day he'll be there where he doesn't even need it, and they just go Darren. Is there another Darren? Not really.
Darren Ue Noyama.
Nobody who's ascended to really that. Yeah, he could be Darren. Okay, who's winning the World Series?
I'm so bummed. My Yanks.
Ugh. I mean, Yanks, talk about how gross this is.
Yankees Dodgers would have been great.
I've told you this. You're worse than Cormier.
Yankees Dodgers, the old Subway Series, Brooklyn, New York would have been fantastic. I think Houston's going to win.
And so Houston is now your new team.
No. I'm off.
Rooting for the Astros, huh?
I'm done. They beat my Yanks.
They beat my Yanks.
Oh yes, Badu Jack, the Ripper. That's a good one.
Badu Jack is good.
Rampage.
That's boxing though.
Yeah.
But
Badu Jack, by the way, is the best name. Like the real name.
just name
Yeah.
alone, right?
Badu
Yeah,
Jack. I just want to say it all day. Badu Jack. Oh, Black Beast.
Black Beast.
Black Beast.
I mean, I liked Beast in 25-8 before it went away, but
yeah, Astros. I got Astros in 7. You?
I don't care, don't know. I don't follow baseball.
It's the best.
It's really not. Really
Not better than the NBA, but I still enjoy it.
Really not.
Touchy-feely.
Touchy-feely, really good.
Yeah. Of course. That might be the best.
Joby One Kenobi for Joe Benavidez. Okay. Ariel, when is it time for you to get reading glasses? You're doing it now, in fact. You're squinting.
Yeah.
People are starting to notice
They
this.
are?
Can we explain the squint?
So this is the thing with my eyes. Left eye, can't see far, completely blurry. Like I'm looking at everything in front of me here. It's completely blurry. I don't see a thing. Close, fine. Right eye, completely blurry in front. Far, fine. Do you understand how weird this is?
Can we get contacts?
I do have glasses. I wear them at home, but I just feel like for the show, it doesn't look good. I guess I could wear contacts, but what do I need glasses for?
No. People are just noticing the squint.
Yeah. I'm getting old. What can I say?
Question from years past. How old were you when you decided that the plaid shirt would be the wardrobe stalwart?
That's a great question.
When did this begin? I know that, the early videos, we see T-shirts. When did we go
No, those were very rare.
I seen it.
Day one.
I mean, we just went to the Playboy Mansion, and I believe.
No, I was wearing a black shirt. No,
maybe.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, you're right. You were wearing.
Come on, I wouldn't wear a T-shirt. Damn Playboy Mansion. Got more class than that. I think early, I always enjoyed a good plaid. I'm Canadian, so it's kind of in our blood. I always feel like it fits all different kinds of occasions. You can go to a fancy dinner wearing a plaid or a casual night out, wear the plaid, and you still fit. You fit in perfectly, I've always thought. And early on in the career, I was like, well, I got to get some shirts. I enjoy plaid. It's a little more ambitious and memorable than just a solid color shirt. So I was like, this is going to be my thing, and I'm just going to stick to plaids. But I had a lot of plaids. It wasn't just like I decided to be an MMA journalist and I went out and bought a plethora of plaids. It's not what happened.
Would you consider me, New York Rick, to be the Baba Booey of the MMA world?
Of the MMA world, Jesus.
I mean, I feel like it can't extend beyond the show, can it? Like, what else? This is the show.
That's a pretty big title to give yourself.
I didn't give it to me. I'm asking.
No. I mean, this is the premiere show, and you're that guy, so sure. You're the fa-fa-fo-hi. You're the fa-fa-fooey.
You complete me. That was amazing. That was it.
Is New York Rick a hipster?
No, I mean, clearly not.
No. You have to be a certain level of cool. I feel like I'm more hipster than you are. Is that possible?
Definitely not, but I don't think either of us.
Who's the biggest hipster that works on the show?
Danny Segura, for sure.
Is Danny Segura a hipster?
He said chill. No, he's not really. I was just messing with him because he's...
What? Is hipster an insult?
No, but there's a certain characteristic. There's a certain...
Who's the biggest hipster on MMAFighting.com? It's not an insult, by the way. I want to be a hipster.
I don't know.
I'm a hipster wannabe. Definitely Casey.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, have you seen that mustache?
I feel like there's more to it, but...
No, I know. There's more to it.
Also, people conflate hipster and contrary.
Contrarian.
Yeah, being contrary to anything.
Casey is a contrarian
is now
too.
hipster. You're a hipster. You're a hipster.
I know.
No, just differing opinion. That was it.
Best nickname in MMA, courtesy of a war of nutrition, Gerald the Unmutable Harris.
Yeah, but that's not official yet. I mean, if we can get Sherdog to update it, maybe.
Do me a favor, Gerald. Enough with the tweets, all right?
Oh, more. See, now you're feeding the trolls. You can't ask. You can't say no more. Now he's going to double down.
Shout out to all the World of Warcraft fans out there.
Shout out to Gerald Harris.
And shout out to Gerald Harris. Thank you very much. Appreciate the time. We will see you next week. Thank you to all of you. You can hear my music. It has been a fun day. It has been a taxing day. I am exhausted. I need a nap. I need a throat lozenge. Is that what they're called? Lozenger? Something like that. What a fun show. What a fun day. Remember I said at the top of the show, many moons ago, it feels, many hours ago. Remember when Gegard Mousasi came on the show and told everyone to get in line? That was incredible. I was worried that Gegard Mousasi going over to Bellator would sort of mute him a little bit. You know, he had gotten the big contract, nothing to really fight for anymore, nothing to get worked up about. Boy, was I wrong about that. Anyway, I said I was excited about the lineup. The lineup delivered. It took a few twists and turns along the way, but we ended up getting it done. I appreciate everyone in the back, including New York Rick, of course, for tracking everyone down. Thank you very much to Gegard Mousasi. Congratulations on the win. Hopefully the eye isn't too bad. Hopefully he has a safe trip home. Appreciate him squeezing us in. Thank you very much to Darren Till. Congratulations on the big victory this past Saturday. A star is born. Dana White has woken up. How exciting is all of this? Thank you very much to TJ Dillashaw. Good luck to him, UFC 217. Thank you very much to Jesse Taylor. Good luck. 1 year suspension. Thank you very much to Michael Venom Page. Congratulations on the boxing win. Thank you very much to the legend George St. Pierre. Good luck on November 4th. Thank you very much to Rose Namajunas. Good luck on November 4th. Thank you very much to Scott Coker. And best of luck to Colby Covington this Saturday as well. Back next week, same time and place. Until they say peace.